Yeah, and guys, definitely let us know what kind of game you actually prefer. I'm really enjoying games like this a lot lately, but if you actually are a huge fan of standard style and just a perfect execution, let us know. Tweet us at ProxyWolf and at Calder. And yeah, we have the premium stream right now, so it's kind of a more private crowd, I guess. So we can definitely talk about those things. So send us a few tweets and we'll check out if there are a couple of good reasons why you prefer one style or another. But now we are on the second game. We have our OGS player to the top right of the map in the red color, the Protoss player Lure. And to the bottom left in the blue, this is Slayer's YugiOh. And I feel like obliged to actually talk a lot about YugiOh right now. I mean, Sela just basically... He bribed me. He bribed me
with the ice cream?
Yeah, he gave me the ice cream, so I don't know.
See, that wouldn't work on me because I don't like ice cream.
How can you not like ice cream? How is that even possible?
This is like one of the most frequently asked questions I ever get because oftentimes people will offer me ice cream. For example, I was at the TSL house the other day and TSL, I believe it was Ragnarok, bought everyone ice cream and he offered to me and I was like, no, it's okay. And I was speaking Korean to him, but he like didn't understand. He was like, no. He's like, I really want you to have this. It wasn't expensive and stuff. And I was like, no, you could speak
German to me and I wouldn't understand because there is no one in this world who does not like ice cream.
Oh man, I don't know. It's something I've disliked ever since I was a kid. My family, even when I was a kid, was like,
since you were a kid.
Yeah, my family was like, well, you should just. I mean, why do you not like this? They tried to get me to eat it. I just wouldn't do it. I've eaten it before, but I dislike it. Maybe it's because it's cold. Maybe it's too sweet. I'm not sure. It's just this mix of things. For example, I don't really like smoothies, really, or milkshakes, like that type of dessert. I feel like
dessert. I don't know you anymore.
That type of dessert is not what I prefer. I prefer a chocolate chip cookie or a brownie. Okay? That type of thing is what I like. That is what I prefer.
All right, fair enough, I guess.
Not raspberry flavored cookies. I don't like those.
I'm not going to buy you a cookie, so you don't have to go into the details. Not unless you buy me ice cream.
Oatmeal cookies, oatmeal raisins, those are right out. I don't eat those. Okay. Chocolate chip, maybe peanut butter or plain vanilla. Sugar cookies are fine.
Okay, I'm so happy that we actually talked about this. So, guys, if you ever want to buy a Wolf a cookie, now you know exactly which one to get.
I know that people have seen me eat cookies on stream before because I was eating Subway cookies on stream a few times, unaware that I was actually being put on camera beforehand, before the broadcast started. So people took screenshots of me eating cookies and sent them to me on Twitter. But yeah, I like Subway cookies the best. I really enjoy eating cookies from Subway sandwich shops.
Coming up, Proxy Wolf being sponsored by Subway.
I hope so, man. That would be sick. I eat Subway all the time.
Yeah, it would be really sick. But well, we have a scout in the main base to the bottom left, and as you can see, gas for YugiOh at this point. To the top right, Lure started with his normal Forge Expand build, so nothing out of the ordinary happening.
He lost his probe, though. That's something to note. He doesn't have a probe out on the map, so he can't. Not only can he not scout any further, but he won't be able to put pylons on the map to harass his opponent, put pressure on with 4 gateways, for example. He just does not have those options, those opportunities anymore. He's going to be kind of stuck in his base. And when this happens, we oftentimes see people actually resort to using Warp Prisms as an assister to push like that. For example, he will probably likely rally his Zealot outside of his main base for a little bit of scouting information as well. He did see the gas. He saw that it just finished, though. He clicked on it. He saw that there was 200 and 500 left in it. Literally, the drones had not even been put inside yet, so he knows he's not dealing with an all-in. He's going to go Stargate here yet again, though, rather than go for the robotics tech.
Exactly. So we see Stargate once more. Let's see if he's starting to commit to it as heavily as he did in the last game. We have a drone for, well, a lot of droning going on for YugiOh, who this time also decides to go for a standard build. So it's kind of like he put his, I don't want to say cheesy builds, but like his very flexible builds a little bit to rest. But we will also see him with a double gas once again and a very fast tech. So no attempts of getting a third early on. He really loves those fast tech builds.
Yeah. Indeed, he does. The 2-base layer builds are something that have grown in popularity, especially among Slayer Zergs recently. You know, I know that Golden is no longer on Slayers, but he was one who was doing the super fast Spire, like very quick, like 5 minutes and a half layer, stuff like that, like super fast mutas on 2-base. He was doing that for a while, and
Yeah, it was really sad that Golden lost his match in the first round.
Yeah, he looked so good too.
Yep.
But I'm sure he'll be around for quite some time. He's a very good player.
Yeah, definitely. And he has quite a lot of plans. I don't actually know if that was public, so let's just not spoil anything. But yeah, if you're a Golden fan, then he definitely has a lot of things that he's thinking about right now and that he will probably do in the near future. We have a Void Ray already out for Lure at this point. He sticks with one Stargate and once again Roaches and of course our infestation pit for YugiOh.
I like the burrow timing here for YugiOh as well. It's not a very expensive upgrade, so when you get very quickly if you go for this lair. And it's very useful for not only the Roaches but also the Infestors. Yeah. Gives them a lot more potential to escape, for example, potential to do sneaky attacks. This Overseer will see everything, including the robotics, so he's very now in the know. I always love to see like the desperate changeling from the Overseer before it dies. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill that, but you can do that. It's like the changeling always does this like last thing he does. He's like, well, I'm gonna walk 2 steps to the right, and the Pro's like, sorry, man.
That's actually when I scout with the Overseer. That's the first thing that I do when I enter the main base. Immediately drop the changeling, so you just walk in two different
directions.
Different directions, and then you will see something. Your opponent will have the problem that he has to chase either the changeling or the Overseer, and yeah, might give you a few more scouting information.
Yep. Yeah. In the case of this, I mean, he may not have had enough energy, but I'm pretty sure he did. Pretty sure. In fact, do Overseers, this is a good question, you're a Zerg. I very rarely morph Overseers. I do play Zerg sometimes, but do you have enough energy to morph a changeling as soon as you make the Overseer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, so there's no way. I don't know. People need to use their changelings better. I'm like trying to make up excuses for YugiOh, but actually there's none. The Infestor upgrade is almost done, which means these 6 Infestors that are on the way now will pop out with enough energy for a fungal. The third base for YugiOh is finishing up here. His creep is already spread between the bases and even further beyond. His creep spread last game was actually out of control. I mean, he had a very passive opponent, so it was easy for him to do that, but even so, I mean, his creep spread this game is pretty good as well. He's making that macro hatchery a very smart choice.
It just shows that his mechanics are pretty good. He did not miss a lot of injects, and he had the creep spread as well, so paying attention to his tumors, it just showed that he has a very good mechanics in this game. And, well, right now we have also a lead in probes for OGS Lure. He's on 3 bases, or he will be very soon, as he's trying to take a third Nexus right now, already securing it with a few cannons. And YugiOh has his third as well, so it's a little bit more of a passive game that we've seen in the last match. Already the tech for Colossi, Extended Thermal Lens, is on the way. And with all these Infestors, YugiOh is kind of safe at this point, is doing a decent job, and I'm really interested to see how he's going to transition into the late game, because Lure is using more of a standard composition this time, and this might be a little bit harder to beat for YugiOh with his army.
Yeah, it's gonna be tougher, definitely, than the last game. The Colossi are the real great unit for Lure at this point. He's going to be able to counter these Infestors quite well with the Colossus range.
And we talked about this yesterday. If you go for Neural Parasite, for example, it worked so well against the carriers, against the Colossi. You always have the problem that the range of the Colossi is so huge, so they will always stay in the back, which makes you move your Infestors to the front.
Forward, yeah.
And then suddenly they are exposed. You can take them down, and you can
kill them. Yeah, if they move to catch the Colossi, they get too close to the Stalkers, for example. There's just all sorts of problems with using Neural Parasite against Colossi. Yeah, it can work, but it's just very difficult to make happen. This Overseer will get a glimpse of the Colossi, so it's going to be very unfortunate for YugiOh. He's going to want to power out as many Roaches as possible so he can try to just overwhelm the Colossi. But the thing is, Lure already has a third base, and he's got a decently sized Gateway army to back this up. To move out now with these Infestors is actually something I do not agree with. I think it's a really bad choice. I don't think he's going to commit, though, thankfully for him. Well, he might.
He doesn't have a lot to back this up. This is basically one of the problems that I have with this decision at this point. The Spire is coming into play, so he needs Corruptors plus to attack. He's getting also the Roach Bowman, as mentioned. And, well, very passive game. A little bit unusual for a Zerg versus Protoss.
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
This looks more like a Terran versus Protoss right now.
The 15 drones are on the way, and he's taking a very fast 4th base. That's a good reaction to what YugiOh has done here, or rather what Lure has done. And a lot of Zergs these days will just attack into the 3rd base and try to punish them that way, and just send Roach after Roach after Roach until they at least trade well with their opponent. But in the case of this game, and like some of the games we saw yesterday, a lot of Zergs will smartly take a 4th base and go up to Hive. Hive is on the way. The Spire is finishing up here. He's going to be able to get greater Spire tech very soon. He's playing this very smartly. You don't actually have to kill the Protoss 3rd. I mean, it's ideal. It's nice if you can do that. And sometimes you just win the game because of it or you get ahead. But you don't have to do that. And there are other options.
Exactly. He just wants to get the late game composition, and if he hits a decent timing with it, then he will be able to do so much damage. I especially like how he spreads his creep once again. Just the direction, how he spreads it, makes a lot of sense because he will be able to see run-bys a lot sooner. To the left side we have another base now being built. So he just covers his bases. He makes sure that he spends his money, and at this point as a Zerg player you will have so many minerals. So it makes perfect sense to get additional hatcheries, maybe just take the gas. Even if this base is going to be attacked or dies, if you just mine a little bit of gas in the meantime, that will already pay off. This is the important thing for you. Get additional gas so that he can spend the minerals as well. And we already have him maxed out, so he can just get spine crawlers as he does right now, getting 7 at a time. And yeah, everything is going pretty well for him. Already the fleet beacon for Lure though, yeah, so he's preparing.
He is preparing indeed. I like this infestor group right here. He's going to use that. He knows there's a 4th base there. He's going to wait for the probes, and he's going to fungal from the high ground, kill a ton of probes. That's actually so smart. Oh, Phoenix is going to get caught here, but so will the Corruptors, and the Phoenix actually survives as well. The upgrades for these Stalkers a little bit better than the upgrades for the Zerglings. In fact, they're 0-0 right now. The Roaches have upgrades, but the Zerglings cannot really afford to fight. This is actually a really good trade for Lure right now, who's not going to wait against YugiOh here.
Yeah, Lure has a pretty scary army at this point, and you are right. The timing that he hits will enable him to attack before the Broodlords are in play. The question is, how good is this defense by YugiOh with all these spine crawlers? Will it be enough, or will his opponent commit? I can actually see him attacking into the spine crawlers with all these infestors and the roaches, as well as the
choke point as well. Yeah, I cannot imagine it. These infestors are going to go to their doom potentially here. One does go down, but with all those infested Terrans, it may not matter.
No, it doesn't really matter. And he
commits. Oh, he's going to actually attack into this.
He really commits. I'm so surprised here.
He has really good upgrades, but there are so many Corruptors here, and he's attacking into a choke point where YugiOh has the better concave.
And the spine crawlers as well, and all these funnels do a ton of damage too, so now he's blinking in here, but he's losing way too many units. YugiOh, on the other hand, is losing units as well, and the spine crawlers, most of them are already gone. He still has a few, but are they going to be enough? Still 2 Immortals, and they do so much damage to the spine crawlers. What about the Broodlords? 10 of them morphing right now.
The thing is, also, there are 70 Zerglings in production. The Zerglings do only have 1/1, but Lure actually only has +1 armor.
Oh, here they come. Oh, and he blinks back, and now he's caught by the rest of the reinforcements. He's on cooldown. Whoa, this hurts.
A lot more Stalkers coming in here. He does not have enough Infestor energy. By the way, during all of this, Lure did lose his 3rd base to those Infestors to drop the infested Terrans. And this attack will continue a little bit longer, but there's enough Broodlords here with Spinecrawler support that I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he still has a lot of minerals. He still has a lot of minerals and also gas, so he can still rebuild his army. We have around 160 supply against 126. And this is just really horrible right now. We only have basically 1 mining base. He has a few mineral patches left at the natural expansion, but the 4th base is what it's really about right now. He's trying to get his 3rd into play once again, while YugiOh is still on 2 mining bases. He actually still has his natural.
I don't know why my computer, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's getting +3, but on my computer, the icon for +2 was showing, and when I clicked on the units, they had +1 armor, but like 0. I don't know, the observing computer that I'm using right now, like, not actually showing me the correct numbers, but the Protoss does, in fact, have +3 now with +1 armor. I was not lying earlier, I swear. I don't know if you guys saw something different, but he is at 1-3 right now. The +2 armor is on the way. The Mothership is about to finish here, but even so, man, the Mothership does not have enough supporting units. There are no Archons in the mix. There's no Storm.
Did you see the Infestor count? We have 17 Infestors at this point to support the 10 Broodlords, and this is kind of sick. This is really insane. I mean, this many Infestors, this is crazy. Those Stalkers won't blink at all.
No, they will have no chance. Not only that, but, I mean, he's got so many infested Terrans he can drop. The Mothership will probably not survive very long. There are no Corruptors at all in this mix, though. But even so, like I mentioned, the Infestors have the Infested Terran ability. They can actually trap the Mothership, for example. He's going to trap some of these Stalkers right away here, and that is going to be bad news for them. All of them going down right away. And YugiOh can afford to trade Infestor energy to kill Stalkers right now. That's actually fine for him. He's going to kill some Zealots as well. The natural goes down. There are a few Archons now, but they're just not enough, and he doesn't have...
It's too late.
He doesn't even have enough energy on his mothership, which may potentially go down here. Infested Terrans being dropped.
Oh, he needs a fungal though, and there it is. There's the fungal. And now here are the Infested Terrans, and the mothership is about to die. He needs another fungal though, as the mothership tries to escape here. But he does so much damage already. The Broodlords are splitting, attacking the main base as well. A horrible position for Lord to be in. He just can't really attack at this point.
No.
All these infestors, and they're just backing up the backbone of this army, which are the Broodlords.
So many, he's dropping so many fungals, so many infested Terrans. He's cut the Archons off from the mothership, so he can't even do an Archon tool, even if he wants to. Almost caught some High Templar there off guard.
Neural Parasite is going to be done very soon as well.
A few Broodlords do get cut off from the main group, but there's just so many.
Oh, there's the Vortex trying to catch the infestors.
He misses mostly though.
Blinking in, trying to take down the Broodlords. A lot of them are dying,
he's
actually.
killing a lot of these Broodlords, and the units are still in the Vortex.
Look at his, he has lava, not enough, but he has still 3,000 minerals and 2,000 gas.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot more infestors here as well. Several of those infestors dying actually because of the splash damage on the Archons.
But a lot of them are retreating.
Yeah, several of them will escape.
Rebuild this army. The mothership died. You have still 2 Broodlords. They will die, but at what cost? 106 supply against 140, and YugiOh still has so many bases, so many mining bases, and Lure just can't keep up with the income of his opponent.
He has like basically one moment here where his opponent will have fairly even army supply with him until the larva catches up and he gets more units out. He's got 3-3 on the way right now. And Lure, will he make use of this moment? The question is, can he even do it? There are no Broodlords out right now, no Corruptors either. 9 of them are about to pop out, and then he'll make them into Broodlords. But there's a timing that Lure had here where he's got this base remade at his third. His natural is finished as well. And he's mining from that base over on the left in the top of the map, but he's actually just not going to attack because he's a little bit scared here. And unfortunately for him, that's going to allow YugiOh to remax, this time with better upgrades, better production, and just do it again. And he will do it again and again until Lure dies, unless Lure really makes use of this timing here. Well, he's already missed it. He can't even do it anymore. And even if he had, I mean, it's going to be a tough situation with this many spines out on the map.
Not only the spines, the creep tumors give him the vision that he needs. He knows about everything that's happening. He's sending Changeling in. He knows exactly how many bases the Protoss player has. He knows about the army composition. He's getting the upgrades that you mentioned. We have so many infestors, the Broodlords once again. And this combination is very hard to beat for Protoss as it is. But if your opponent has such a great economy and you are really out on a limb here with everything you get, it's just so painful to deal with this army composition. And now even dropping a few infested Terrans while moving into the natural, and he's sniping it there.
His multitasking is as out of control here. His free spread on the map, you remember what it was like 5 minutes ago when Lure killed every tumor? He's like, I don't care. I'll remake that. I love how he doesn't just spread his creep in one direction like most Zergs do. He spreads it very thoroughly and evenly across.
This also helps him to deal with run-bys. He spots them very early on, and therefore he can prepare in time. And once again, beautiful fungals just everywhere.
He could get a neural on the mothership. It doesn't have enough energy, though, for him to use a counter vortex.
Yeah, he just has to be very, very careful about the vortex. There's not enough energy on the mothership just yet, but only a few points are left. Yeah, 4 more energy, and then he will be fine.
Yep.
And he's already splitting his Broodlords.
Yep. And he may try to get a neural. I don't think he'll be able to, though. There's too many Colossi in this mix, and by too many, I mean 1. That one alone will make it so that it's basically impossible for him.
And yeah, there's the vortex, but this is not really going to pay off.
It's not enough. And with the infestors there, it's just... Yeah, he may end up doing okay in this fight, but...
Yeah, actually, I think he's gonna win this. How many Broodlords are on the high ground? I actually can't see it. And there's the Arkansas. The Broodlords escape onto the high ground, though, but there's the Blink, and the Stalkers pick them off one by one. The Broodlords die. At this point, Lure is down to 94 supply against 170, and still about 3,000 minerals and 1,300 gas for YugiOh.
He has so much
He can just rebuild this 200 supply army over and over again.
27 roaches in production. The Broodlords still have not been 100% dealt with. They're taking out more gateways. They take out the Stargate in the main base, and they're just going for probes now, it looks like. But they've done so much damage here, and they're not done yet. The worker count right now is 72 to 24. That's literally triple the worker count for YugiOh. He has so much money banked up, whereas Lure is desperately trying to mine here. He's lost his natural yet again. He has a fully mining base at the middle here, but he's lost so many probes because of Roach run-bys. Like, I just could go on and on about what YugiOh has done right in this game.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lure is holding on desperately for life here, but this next Roach attack may just polish him off. He's going to target down the Nexus as Roaches have +3 weapons.
The thing is, he's in a perfect position for an Arcane Toilet, but that won't really help him against this many Roaches that are very, very cheap and you can just rebuild them. He still has way too many resources. His problem that he doesn't have this many. Actually, by now he injected a lot better. He's on 37 lava now, so he can just max out once again. But he's moving
going
in
for the Mothership,
and it is going to fall.
It will indeed. The Archon's falling out of the Mothership's cloak range while he does this, and the Overseer comes. The Mothership dies, and that's going to be it. It's 40 supply left. YugiOh going to take this series 2-0.
Very impressive by YugiOh, and Lure, he lost. He was able to defeat his teammate in the first round, but Slayers YugiOh, this is as far as OGS Lure gets, and this is it, guys. 2-0 for Slayers YugiOh.
Yep, Lure playing very well in this best of 3, and especially creative play in both games. Like, the way he took his third base in the second game, we didn't talk about it that much, but he did it fairly riskily, but he did it with very good scouting information of what his opponent was doing. He reacted well. And we are going to take a 5-minute break. When we get back, we'll have Tree against Beyond, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for our next TBT.